Okay, so good morning to everyone. Now, today we will start the topic about the daisy chaining in priority interrupt. So, before starting it, so for users of the priority interrupt, we uses this formation of the daisy chaining. Now, this daisy chaining is basically the serial, we can say serial interrupt. We have two types of interrupt. One is serial type of interrupt and another one is the parallel type of interrupt. So the serial type of interrupt, for executing it we uses the daisy chaining. Now basically where this is basically here all the input output devices. So in our systems the input output devices are present. So all the input output devices which we have different types of input output devices. Now basically these different types of input output devices we arrange. Now we arrange these input output devices and connect them based on the priority. Now let's say here you can see we have three input output device we have used. This is a device 1, device 2 and device 3. So basically here we are using three input output devices. Now there may be more than three input output devices can also be present. It is not that restricted that only these three input output devices can be there. If you want, then you can use many other input output devices also. But we have to arrange these input output devices based on the priority. Now, priority is what? Based on the priority, and this priority we will set based on the speed. Like there our magnetic disk, like we have a magnetic disk and magnetic disk speed is high. So we will set the high priority. Whereas we have the input output devices keyboard. So this keyboard speed is low. This keyboard speed is low. So it will be used for the low priority. So input output devices will be arranged and they will be connected serially based on the priority, and priority will be set based on the our speed. Like in our example which we are taking here, we are using the magnetic disk. The disk speed is much more than all of the input output devices which we have. So that's why we have setting that priority high for the magnetic disk. But whereas we have the keyboard, that keyboard has the low priority because the keyboard speed, the speed of the keyboard is low. So that's why the keyboard speed is low and we are setting that as the low priority. So now we will describe this our diagram, that here you see all the devices are serially connected. That means here device 1, device 2 and device 3 all are connected serially. They are connected serially. Now from device 1 you see device 2 is connected, from device 2 device 3 is connected, and then to next device. Now here I have not used any other devices, but if you use device 4, device 5, device 6 to device n, we can able to use there. But here we are using three devices only and they are serially connected. Now this is done because high priority interrupt or high priority input output process generated interrupt, then the low priority doesn't make problem between that. Or in other condition, low priority generated interrupt and high priority comes, then obviously high priority is given priority. So implementing this, we uses the daisy chaining method. Now here the devices we have used. First device we used as the hard disk. The second device we use, that is the mouse, the other input output device, that is mouse. And the third input output device we use here is the keyboard. So this three input output devices we use. First one is the hard disk, second one is the mouse, and the third one is the keyboard. Now hard disk priority is high. Now among this all input output devices which we have here, among them hard disk input output device priority is high because the hard disk speed is high. So that's why we have set this as the high priority. Now if among the input output devices which has the highest priority will be set at first. So that's why the device 1 we used as the hard disk, because among the input output devices which have the highest priority we have to set it at the first. So that's why we have used the hard disk at first. Then the next highest priority will come. Now among the mouse and keyboard, the mouse priority is high. So because mouse speed is much more than the keyboard. So that's why we have used it as the second device. And among these three, the lowest priority, the lowest priority is the of keyboard. So that's why we have used the keyboard as the third device. So based on that, we have used device 1, device 2, and device 3. Now these three devices are connected serial way. Now you see they are connected in the serial way. Now if any of the device, if among these three devices, if any, they are using that, you see they are serially connected. They are serially connected with each other. Now among this input output device, any of the device generate interrupt signal, then one will go to the CPU. Now here among these three device, any of the device generate the interrupt, then the one signal will go to the CPU. This one signal will go to the CPU. Now among these three device, anyone, let's say device 1 generate our interrupt, then also the one will go. Device 2, if device 2 generate interrupt, then the one will go to the CPU. And if device 3 generate interrupt, then one will also go to the CPU. Now anyone, if anyone generate interrupts, then one will go to the CPU. But the problem is what? One will go to the CPU. So CPU will able to know that the three device, among the three input output device which we have in our system, among them any device is generating the interrupt signal, but which device particularly is generating the interrupt, the CPU will not able to know that, because CPU is getting one only. So when CPU will get one, then CPU will think that an interrupt is generated, only that. But which device among these three, which device is generating the interrupt signal, CPU is not able to know that. CPU is only able to know that among these three device, among them a device is generating the interrupt signal, and that's why the one is came, the signal one came to me, so an interrupt is generated. CPU will only able to know that, but CPU will not able to know among these three which device is generated the interrupt. So that's why CPU doesn't know which device generate it, but it will understand that the interrupt is occurred. The interrupt is occurred, it is clear to CPU. But among these three devices, which one generated interrupt, it is not clear to CPU. So CPU will do what? Now how it will know that which device generated interrupt? CPU will not able to know. So for this reason, CPU will send a acknowledgement of this interrupt. A acknowledgement will be sent by the CPU for that. That is the INT ACK. Now interrupt is generated, one signal came, so CPU able to know that interrupt is generated. Now which device is doing that? It is not known to CPU. So for knowing the purpose, CPU will do what? CPU will generate an interrupt acknowledgement signal. And this interrupt acknowledgement signal, that is this one signal will be sent. Now, if you see this diagram, then if it is seen that the interrupt acknowledgement signal will catch by the highest priority device first, because it is connected in such a way, that the highest priority device, the highest priority input output device, it will get the interrupt acknowledgement signal. Now, let's say this hard disk is among these three devices, the hard disk is generated the signal. Let's say the hard disk is generated the signal. So, generated the interrupt. So, what will happen? This interrupt acknowledgement which came to this hard disk, this one which came to the hard disk, this acknowledgement which came to the hard disk, it will do what? It will consume that. It will consume that and send 0 to other devices. If this particular hard disk is generated the interrupt, then only it will happen that the interrupt acknowledgement which it is sent, which it get, it will consume that. The acknowledgement that is sent from the CPU will be consumed by the device 1 or the highest priority device, because it is generated the interrupt signal. So that's why it will do what? It will consume that and it will send 0 to the other devices. Now sending 0 means go to the inactive mode. That means these devices consuming 0, and consuming 0 means what? They are not generating any interrupt. That's why they have been sent 0 to it. So 0 means it is saying that go to our inactive mode. So device 2 and device 3 will get 0 and it will be inactive, because among them device 1 generated the interrupt. So that's why when the interrupt acknowledgement signal came, the device 1 consumed that acknowledgement and sent 0 to the other devices to know that you can go to the inactive mode, because I have generated the interrupt signal. So that's why interrupt request I have generated. So that's why I have consumed the interrupt acknowledgement from the CPU which came. So CPU will able to know that the device 1 is sending the acknowledgement because it consumed the interrupt acknowledgement. But let's say device 1 is not generated the interrupt. Then what will happen? Now, this interrupt acknowledgement will came to the device 1 first, because its architecture is such like that interrupt acknowledgement signal will came to the highest priority interrupt, always to the highest priority interrupt first. So device 1 will do what in that case? Now let's say in the second case, device 1 is not generated the interrupt signal. Let's say device 2 is generated the interrupt signal. Then what will happen? So interrupt acknowledgement signal, its architecture is such that the interrupt acknowledgement signal will came to device 1, always device 1 first. So it will came there. Now device 1 is not generated the interrupt request. So that's why this one interrupt acknowledgement signal 1 will not consumed by the device 1. Then that's why it will send 1 here. Now 1 will be sent to the device 2. Let's say device 2 generated the interrupt. So what will happen? This 1 will be consumed by the device 2 now, and it will send 0 to the next device. That for device 3, it will send 0 to it, because device 2 is generated the interrupt request. So that's why this 1 will now consumed by the device 2, and it will send 0 to the next devices, because it is consumed the 1. That means CPU will able to know that device 2 have been interrupt request. It is generated the interrupt. And in the case 3, let's say device 3. Let's say device 3 generated the interrupt. In that case, both here also the 0 will go, then device 2 will what? Device 2 doesn't generate the interrupt, so it will send, it will not consume the 1, so it will send the 1 to the device 3. So when this 1 will send to the device 3, so this 1 will consume by the device 3 now, because it is generated the interrupt. So 1 will be consumed by the device 3, and that means CPU will able to know that the device 3 is generated the interrupt. So this is what? This is the architectural process. Now let's say all of the device, now let's say all of the device 1, device 2, device 3, all of these devices generated the interrupt. Then what will happen? Yes, then also the problem will happen, because that all of the devices is generated the interrupt. So what will happen? It will, in the most highest priority interrupt, the highest priority interrupt, which is what? Our hard disk, the highest priority interrupt. This hard disk will consume the our interrupt acknowledgement signal, and it will do what? It will send the 0 to the other devices. It will send the 0 to the other devices, so that in that case, when all of the devices will generate the interrupt, in that case the interrupt acknowledgement will be consumed by the highest priority devices, and it will do what? It will send 0 to the other devices, so that they can go to the inactive mode. So this is the process. Okay, it is clear to you, all of you? It is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now this type of process like that already CPU able to know that the interrupt is generated, and whom the interrupt, that which device is generated the interrupt, it is already known to you. But the device, let's say the device, now CPU know that which device is generated interrupt. So after that, what will happen? The device will generated the interrupt. The device that generated the interrupt will produce the vector address, that is VAD. This vector address will be produced by the device which generated the interrupt. So if device 1 generated, then device 1 will produce the vector address. If device 2 is generated the interrupt, then device 2 will generate the vector address. And if device 3 generated the interrupt, then device 3 will produce vector address. So whichever device generated the interrupt will produce the vector address. Now what is this vector address means? Vector address means that the input output device which generates the interrupt, its responsibility is to give ISR address to the CPU. ISR address to the interrupt. ISR means ISR address. ISR means interrupt service routine. ISR means interrupt service routine. So VAD means vector address is what? It is the input output device which generate the interrupt. Its responsibility is to give the interrupt service address, interrupt service routine address to the CPU. So the address will be given to the CPU, and how this it will go? It will go using the data bus. The data bus which is present in our system, through it will go. And after the interrupt is generated, the CPU will go to the routine checkup on that particular address. That means on that particular address, CPU will go to check on that particular address which the device is generated. That means CPU will go to check in the vector address which is generated by the or produced by our device that is generating the interrupt. So go to there and check the interrupt service routine address. The interrupt service routine address, it will go, the CPU will go to there and it will check. So this is the process. This is the process of the daisy chaining in the priority interrupt. This is the process. Okay. It is clear? समझ में आया सबको?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the serial interrupt, and this serial interrupt is doing, we call it as the daisy chaining. This we call as the daisy chaining. Now we have two interrupt. We already said that we have two interrupt. One is serial type of interrupt and another one is the parallel type of interrupt. Now the difference is what? The difference is in the serial type of interrupt, the device are connected, the input output device are connected in the serial way. But whereas in the parallel priority interrupt, the device will be, our device will be connected parallelly. And the serial priority interrupt, we call it as the daisy chaining. But the parallel priority interrupt, it doesn't have subname, because for executing the serial priority interrupt, we use the daisy chaining method. And this formation we call the daisy chaining. This is the formation we call as the daisy chaining. Now we will go parallel priority. We go to the parallel priority interrupt, and this parallel priority interrupt, the difference you will able to see here. The difference is what? Here the difference in the parallel priority interrupt is that the device which we have like this, they are parallelly connected. The device that are parallelly connected in the parallel priority interrupt. And in the parallel priority interrupt, you see here also in the same process, the input output device are arranged. The input output device which we have are arranged in the same way, in the which we have seen in the serial interrupt. The same way this parallel priority interrupt has also, that whichever device has the highest priority, it is what? It is arranged in such a way that the highest priority interrupt or the highest priority input output device will be most over the first, it will be there, and according to that order, the other devices will be present. So here the disk, among this input output device which we have, the disk has the highest priority. The disk has the highest priority because disk has the speed. Disk speed is much more. So that's why the disk is used first, because disk speed is much more here. So that's why disk is first. And after that the printer is there, because printer is the next, among this input output device, the printer speed is next. So that's why the printer is in the second. Then in the third, there is a reader, and at last there is the keyboard, because keyboard speed is less among the input output device. The keyboard's speed is most, it will be less. So that's why in here the last we use the keyboard. Now if you use the many other same as that, here also we can able to use many other input output devices, but we have used in our, here we have used 4 input output devices. So that's why these 4 input output devices are present. Now here all the input output devices we have are connected in the parallelly. They are connected in parallel. Now interrupt register. Okay, so here all the input output devices are connected parallelly. They are all the input output devices which we have are connected parallelly. Now input register. Now here you see we have used the input register. This or this is the interrupt register. We can say this is the interrupt register. And interrupt register, you have seen that 0, 1, 2, 3 we have used. Now 0 means highest priority, and the last value we gave as the lowest priority. Now here disk has the highest priority, so we give here at 0, and the lowest priority is the keyboard, so at last we have used. The input output device which generate interrupt makes the interrupt register value to 1. Let's say among them the disk, the first we are taking the example that let's say among the, in this interrupt register all these devices are present, and among them let's say disk is generated the interrupt. Among them the disk is generated the interrupt. So the input output device which will generate the interrupt will make the interrupt register value to 1. The device which make the generated the interrupt, then it will do what? It will interrupt register value. This interrupt register value will be 1 there. Interrupt register value will be 1 there. Now this one will go where? This one will go to this AND gate. Now you see all of the devices here through disk, it is what? It is connected to the, it is connected to our AND gate. Then printer also, for printer there is also, this is connected with the AND gate. This input is also connected with an AND gate. Then for reader also, reader you see this is what? This is also connected with the AND gate, and here also it is connected with the AND gate. Now all of them are connected with what? All of them are connected with the AND gate. And there is another register present. This is the mask register. This is the marks register. And marks register also, you see, marks register there is connected. Here also this output, it is connected as the input of this AND gate. This is what? This is connected to here, and this also is connected to the this input of the AND gate. So they are connected. Now let's say it is generated, the device that is generated interrupt, the interrupt register value will go as the 1 here. Now let's say disk is generated the interrupt. So interrupt register value will go to 1 here. So here also 1, because those which will generate the interrupt, the device, it will make the interrupt register value to 1. So that means here also 1 will go, here also 1 will go, and here also 1 will go, because interrupt register value is now 1, because any device which generated the interrupt will make the interrupt register value to 1. Now, so that's why the 1 will go there, this one will go here, this one will go, and this one will go here. Now, what will happen? So, the interrupt at first time when we use the mask register, initially the mask register is also, initially it is value is also 1. So there also the 1 will go, here also 1, here also 1, here also 1, because initially the marks register value is 1. So the marks value will also send, this mask value will also send to the input, as an input it will send, and then the AND operations will be performed, because these two inputs it is going to the AND gate, so AND operations will be performed. Now here 1 1, so AND operation means 1 1 1, the AND operation will perform, it will 1. There also the AND operation, so 1 into 1 1, there also the AND operation it will be 1. So the AND operations will be performed, and after performing the AND operation, it will go to the priority encoder. There is a priority encoder connected. So this, in this priority encoder, these values will go there. These values will go to the priority encoder. And from the priority encoder, and from this priority encoder, the output is generated, and in this output, from this priority encoder, the output will be generated, and this output we can get the address of the interrupt service routine. The interrupt service routine we will get from that particular address. We will get from that particular address. So then the CPU will go to that particular address and will handle the interrupt. So this is the basic formation. Case by case, today there is not so much time. So case by case, I will not able to explain today, but this is the generalized format. This is the generalized format, that from priority encoder it will go, and from this priority encoder the address will be generated, and CPU will go to that particular address and for the interrupt service routine, and then the CPU will handle, go to that particular address and handle the interrupt. So this is the basic generalized formation, but case by case I will explain it in your next class, that is the tomorrow. So this is what we have today. So if anyone has any questions among them, you can ask. Okay. So anyone has any question till now? Anyone has
No,
any
sir.
question? Okay. So it is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is, I have only explained the basic formation, but tomorrow I will case by case, because there will be 2 types, 3 types of case by case. Then what will happen, I will explain in the next class. Okay. So thank you everyone. I am ending the session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.